Back in the day, I don't remember exactly when it was. I think like around 2012-ish. Everybody was obsessed with zombies. And they swore that some sort of plague was going to come and take over the world and everyone was going to become undead. And that was the fate for everyone on the planet. And scientists allegedly had things saying why it wasn't possible for there to be some sort of virus of that sort. And people talked about it all of the time. They made a bunch of movies and TV shows and probably comic books and whatnot about it. And the funny thing is, all of those people who thought that there was going to be a zombie apocalypse were absolutely correct, just not in the way that the media, the TVs, the movies, the video games, whatever, had portrayed it. It is a very different way, but is still happening currently. Everywhere you look, people are zombies. People spend their time, spend their days mindlessly scrolling through social media, mindlessly watching Netflix, mindlessly playing video games, mindlessly gossiping about whatever it is that everybody else is doing. There are certain people who have been infected in some capacity with some zombie victimhood virus, and they walk around mindlessly blaming everyone else and everything else for all of their problems. They blame racism and they parrot all of the narratives that say that they are oppressed or this select group of people is oppressed that isn't even them and they don't have anything to do with, but somehow it's harmful to them still. And they parrot all of this cultural appropriation nonsense. Or you see the people in their parades with all of their rainbow flags talking about gender ideology that they mindlessly accepted that people had told them, even though it makes absolutely no sense. And if you really take the time to think about it, you will see it is a bunch of nonsense that means nothing. It doesn't hold up to any degree of logic. You see zombies called Democrats, you see zombies called Republicans who blindly follow behind whatever political party it is that they have mindlessly aligned themselves with, and they just go with whatever talking points either side tells them to go with. They hate who it is that they are told to hate. They like who it is that they are told to like. They support whatever policies or ideas that their side supports, regardless of how they themselves feel about it, which they don't even know because they haven't actually taken the time to think about it, because they have completely outsourced their thinking to the powers that be, and all of their thoughts and all of their morals and all of their values come from somebody else. They don't really know what it is they think. They don't really know what it is that they stand with. They just go with whatever path it is that they are pointed down because they have given up their ability to think. This is everywhere that you look. There are people who mindlessly adopt these mental health narratives, and they adopt the idea that they're depressed or they're anxious or they have ADD or what's the other one? Autism or something like that. And they take all of these personality traits on and they go and pop their pills, whatever pills it is that they are told that they're going to help, and they make the blanket excuses that everybody else makes. I'm sad, my mental health, I can't focus, or I can't do these things because I'm neurodivergent and neurotypicals just don't understand, and all of that other nonsensical shit that they just parrot because it sounds good to them and it makes them feel better about their situation, but it does absolutely nothing for them. There are zombies walking around addicted to various substances, various alcohols, and just trying to get through the day and get to their next substance, mindlessly going from one place to the next. Or people who mindlessly do whatever all of the rest of the crowds do. They see everybody else go to the club, so they go to the club. They see everybody else go to the bar, so they go to the bar. They see everybody else talking about some trend on social media, so they talk about the trend on social media. They make the videos that everybody else makes. They do the same little camera cuts and edits and all of that. You see, I think currently the thing is that dude who dips his face in the water, and everybody does that because they saw one person do it, and they all just mindlessly get in line and follow along. And every single place that you look, they're not walking around eating brains, but they are walking around eating positivity and common sense and the ability to do better, and spreading their mediocrity and their degeneracy and their fatness and all of these other undesirable traits everywhere. They're spreading it all over the world simply by existing, and they push it from themselves onto the next person, onto the next person, onto the next person, and slowly it is taking over the world. And soon we are going to be overrun by stupidity and nonsense and dumb shit, because nobody has the ability to think for themselves. And that is what this zombie virus has taken the form of in real life. It's not some Resident Evil shit, not some Walking Dead shit, but we are still living through an apocalypse of the undead, of people who are unable to think for themselves, of people who are unable to do better themselves for themselves, of people who have absolutely no idea where it is that they want to go, just mindlessly ambling. Is that a word? Stumbling? I don't know. Ambling sounds like a word to me, but we're going to go with this. That's not a word. I want to go with that. Meandering. Who cares? Mindlessly meandering around doing all of this dumb shit. And every day someone else gets caught up in this plague, whether it is that they adopt one of these ideologies, or they pick up their habits, or they take on their viewpoints, and it just keeps fucking spreading. And the only thing that you could do about it, the only vaccine, because there's a bunch of zombies who have taken the actual vaccines too. I'm sure I can't say that here on YouTube, but such is life. I already said it, not going back and unsaying it. But the only vaccine to it is to constantly strive to be the best version of yourself. Get in shape, eat properly, ignore all of the propaganda, learn to think for yourself, push yourself to do what it is that you were supposed to do. Don't let your emotions dictate your actions. Stay sober, stay away from negative people, associate with people who are pushing you to grow on a daily basis, with people who will hold you accountable. Hold yourself accountable first and foremost. Stop looking for other people to blame for your problems. This is how most people wind up infected by this disease. And the more people that take it upon themselves to try and become the best version of themselves, that will spread too. That also has an outward ripple effect, and it will fight back against the hordes of the undead with all of this nonsensical whatnot, and men who were dressed up as women insisting that they're women, and people supporting them, and people who are saying that everything that they hear on the TV is true, and swearing that everything in the world is oppression and nobody can do better, and everything's a disorder, and everyone has a disease, and everything is white supremacy, and all of this other nonsense. The only way to go against it is to work on being the best version of you. If you want to change the world, first you have to change yourself.